reasons behind the carbon emission and also the climate change. Actually, will you guys believe if I tell humans are the main reason behind both of these natural disasters? Actually, they are. Humans are the main reason for both of these natural disasters. Some irresponsible individuals are not taking care of our natures and carrying on the activities that could lead to the extinction of our world. So, as a human, we are having certain responsibilities towards our nature, but some still keep neglecting it because they are not aware about the consequences. So, here are the reasons why the climate change and carbon emission is happening. The first and foremost reason is the burning of fossil fuel. The burning of fossil fuel actually can release a large amount of carbon dioxide to our environment. In the industrial areas and also the transportation field, they are using oil and fuels as the main source of energy. So both of these fields is actually releasing large amount of carbon dioxide into our nature, which actually could give a great impact towards our nature and also to the human's health. And the second reason is the transportation field. The motor vehicles such as car, motorbikes, bus, lorries, jet and also aeroplanes are using oil as their fuel. So during the burning of their fuel, it could release some greenhouse gases which will give negative impact towards our environment. Nowadays, each house they are having 3 to 4 cars because it became a necessity. So when they are using so many motor vehicles, it actually could release a large amount of greenhouse gases. So humans should aware about the effects of using motor vehicles also. The third reason is urbanization. Urbanization actually means the building of new buildings. The building of new buildings is actually need of this century. They are deforesting so many areas just to build new buildings, but they are not thinking about the consequences. The fourth reason is deforestation. Actually, deforestation is the most important reason behind the climate change and also the carbon emission, because when they cut down the trees, there are no more green trees to absorb the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen, because trees use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. And my fifth reason is industrial areas. Industrial areas is actually giving a very worst impact towards our environment. We could see it with our bare eyes every day. And also open burning. Some of us are not really aware about the open burning, but still it is giving a very bad impact to our environment. We are burning the plastics, woods, clothes in the open space. So it is still releasing the carbon dioxide into our environment and using up the oxygens. So the oxygen level in our world is getting low and the carbon dioxide is getting higher. So these are the reasons behind the climate change and also the carbon emission that we should take in note and we should avoid. So I hope everyone will understand about the importance why we must take action towards our nature. That's all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the urgency to tackle the pressing challenge of climate change and environmental degradation has never been clear. For decades, our reliance on fossil fuel as a primary energy sources has pumped vast amounts of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, significantly fueling global warming. It's high time we recognize the imperative to address these issues, and that's where the momentum for transitioning the renewable energy comes into play. Harnessing the powerful of nature processes like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal renewable energy offers us sustainable path with minimal emissions. This shift isn't just about being environmentally responsible, it's a crucial step toward bolstering our energy security by reducing our dependence on finite or fossil resources. Technologically, advancement and economies of scale are rapidly making renewable energy a more competitive and viable option, paving the way for realizing and decentralized energy infrastructure. As a nation and industry wholeheartedly embrace this transition, they are not just curbing carbon emissions, they are driving economic growth through innovation, job creation, and attracting investment. Moreover, the decentralized nature of renewable energy empower communities and improve energy accessibility even in the most remote areas. This global shift aligns with our commitment to international climate goals as seen in agreements like the Paris Agreements as we strive for a future that low carbon, environmentally responsible, economically prosperous, and socially equitable. Comprehensive strategy should involve a combination of these approaches and adapt to the unique challenges and opportunities within different regions and sectors. Additionally, ongoing evaluation and adjustment of strategies based on scientific advancement and evolving circumstances are crucial for long-term success.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vinisha Arjunan. Today, I'm going to talk about the impact of climate change on rising temperature. Our planet is experiencing unprecedented changes, and the consequences of these shifts extend far beyond temperature readings. Ladies and gentlemen, as global temperatures continue to climb, we witness a cascade of effects on our environment. One of the most important and visible consequences is the melting of polar ice caps and glaciers. This not only contributes to rising sea levels but also disrupt delicate ecosystem, threatening the survival of various species. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and instant, with hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires breaking over across the globe. These events not only pose a direct threat to human life but also have a far reaching implication for agriculture, water resources, and infrastructure. Furthermore, the rising temperatures have a profound impact on our oceans. The absorption of excess carbon dioxide result in ocean acidification, which is a major asset to marine life, especially coral reef. Coral reef bleaching threatens the delicate balance of marine ecosystem in addition to fading the reef's vivid colors. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change has an impact on agriculture and food security on land. Growing seasons are altered by shifting temperature and precipitation patterns, which also make water scarcity worse in some areas, posing additional challenges for crops. The outcome could pose a risk to the stability and production of food on a worldwide scale. It is crucial for us to recognize that the consequences of rising temperatures are not isolated incidents, they are interconnected, creating a web of challenges that demand a collective and urgent response. Governments, businesses, and individuals alike must take meaningful action to mitigate the impact of climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, we must invest in sustainable practices, transition to renewable energy sources, and adopt policies that prioritize environmental conservation. Additionally, fostering a global mindset of responsibility and awareness is essential in addressing this shared challenge. Last but not least, the impact of climate change on rising temperatures is a multifaceted crisis that affects ecosystem, weather patterns, and human societies. It is our collective responsibility to acknowledge the agency of the situation and work together to create a sustainable future for generations to come. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Sambas Vermalin from BHRM SEM 2. Now I want to talk about extreme weather events. Events also as classified as extreme weather are those that break from typical weather patterns and have peculiar several traits. Communities, ecosystems, and economies can all be severely impacted by these occurrences, sometimes to disastrous ends. Many extreme weather events are occurring more frequently and with greater intensity as a result of climate change. So here are a few instances of severe weather conditions and their effects. The first effect is heat waves, which prolonged periods of abnormally high temperature also are known as extreme heat events or heat waves. They can cause strain on energy system, health problems like heat-related illness, and hardship on agriculture by lowering crop production. The next one is flood. Flood, which is prolonged, intense rains, storm surges, or quick snow melt can push rivers over their banks and results in flooding. Flood pose serious dangers to public health because they can cause infrastructure to be destroyed, people to be uprooted, and water sources to become contaminated. The next point is hurricane or typhoons, which is powerful winds and copious amounts of rainfall are hallmarks of these powerful tropical storms. The energy that these storms need to intensify increase with rising sea surface temperatures. Not only that, storm surge, coastal floods, and extensive infrastructure damage are among the effects. In conclusion, it is noteworthy that although specific instances of extreme weather cannot be directly linked to climate change, an increasing amount of scientific data suggests that the changing climate is raising the probability and intensity of many of these occurrences. A mix of early warning system, resilient infrastructure, adaptive measures, and international initiatives to address the core cause of climate change by lowering the greenhouse gas and also emissions are needed to mitigate the effects of extreme weather events. That's only from me. Thank you.
My name is Vasuntra Armugam. Today I am talking about the conclusion of the speech. Last but not least, every person is impacted by the climate and an increase in temperature has a direct negative impact on our health. Whenever somebody talks about climate change is the first thing that comes to our mind. It has really caused a major setback in the world over the last century. It is the unusually rapid increase or inflation in the Earth's average surface temperature. It is now imperative that we acknowledge that without climate security, there can be no security of food, water, or energy. The government will contribute in certain ways, such as by supporting renewable energy projects and building wind turbines and solar panels, but it is up to us responsible citizens to start the process of making our world a safer and better place to live. How can that be accomplished? To reduce carbon emissions in our surroundings, we should use public transit and drive fewer personal automobiles. We can also manage energy consumption at home and elsewhere. It is not hard to do. We simply need to constantly monitor our surroundings and ensure that no resources are being wasted. I have nothing more to say. To ensure better control over climate change, I kindly ask that each of you keep an eye on your behavior and help others in doing the same. I know we consider the climate to be a natural limitation, but it isn't, my dear. The greatest significant influence on natural tendencies comes from human activity. We must exercise self-control over our actions to prevent further climate change. The sad part is the most of the countries are not pursuing environment friendly development. If don't pay need to protect the environment, it is ultimately going to harm our next generation. Imagine a life without water and an extremely poisonous air to breathe. We certainly don't want to give such a dangerous living to our children. So, this is high time we should be more cautious and responsible. Thank you.